What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So today we're doing the first of hopefully many in this series of showcasing God Roll Rivens from the Warframe PC community. When we eventually get cross-save and cross-play, everyone on console, I will be looking for your God Roll Rivens to show in videos as well, okay? So let's just keep that in mind when we're making these videos. This is entirely about using a specific Riven. It's just showing what's possible with this Riven system on weapons that are already super crazy, and showing the massive destruction and complete overkill that we'll be unleashing today with this Kuva Bramma. If you enjoy these videos and Warframe videos of that nature, we got plenty of them, over 600 videos on the channel over the course of the years, and we also got a live stream channel where we live stream Warframe and other games too. So check that out if you want to. Alright, so the Riven I've got for you today is Kuva Bramma Critacan or something like that. It's actually Kuva Bramma Acri-Critacan, and what we got here is we got critical damage, multi-shot, critical chance, and minus impact for the cherry on top. Yes, the Kuva Bramma does have impact damage on the direct impact of the arrows. So, what we get here, and also something to keep in mind, with these Riven mods, as this weapon is super crazy strong, it has low Riven stats. 1 dot on the Riven disposition. Behind the scenes number is 0.6. The lowest possible is 0.5. I'm surprised it's not at 0.5 to be honest. So, what we get from this is we get the crit chance of this weapon getting increased while also giving us increased damage on our crits and more bullets or arrows potentially flying out. So my usual Riven I run is a damage multi-shot minus projectile. This one is just more into crit. So with this build, we have 134% crit chance and a 6.1 multiplier. And on this setup, it's Hunter Munitions, Prime Firestorm. We got a Toxin Kuva Bramma, so we run Prime Cryoruns to get viral, which will make it so we can get lots of, big increased damage on our slash procs, also, big overall elemental damage. And for the purposes of the gameplay you'll see later, we were using Arcane Avenger, but for the simulacrum, we're not going to have any buffs, really. I think I'm going to equip the Panzer Cat. Okay, so here's what you can get from a God Roll Riven. I usually recommend running, either Hammer Shot or Vigilante Supplies in the slot that we're running the Riven right now, so keep that in mind. Also, I usually run Point Strike on this weapon, not Critical Delay, because it's a bow. And as you can see, with no galvanized stacks, it can one-shot a level 185 Exo Gokstead Officer without even a direct impact. So now that we have some galvanized stacks, it should be complete death for anything it hits. So, let's start talking about this. Is this going to be worth it to you? Is having a God Roll Bramma Riven going to be worth it to you versus not having one? On a weapon like this, where it's already ridiculously strong already, and we're at 134% crit chance, so every single shot will be guaranteed crit, with a 34% chance to be a orange crit. And so since we're running Vigilante Supplies, some of those orange crits potentially could become red crits. So that's good. I would say this mod is better than Vigilante Armaments in that slot, which is going to give you 60% multi-shot and then a chance to enhance crits. We're basically sacrificing 13% multi-shot for 69% crit damage, nice, and 84% crit chance. The minus impact doesn't even matter. It technically gives us more viral procs, but the big thing here is that we are just getting a big crit upgrade over Vigilante Armaments. Now, how much would this Riven cost if you were to buy it? I was trying to find some and all that. Looking at about 10,000 plat, probably at the lowest. Maybe a little bit. It would depend. A lot of Riven selling depends on the person you're talking to and what they value it at. So I'd say about 10,000 what you're going to be looking at plat-wise on PC. Not sure about on console. I know console plat can be a little bit hard to obtain, so maybe a little bit cheaper on console, maybe a little bit more expensive, not sure. But yeah, as you can see, the Steel Path gameplay, we are utilizing Helminth Roar, so it's going to be a 68% increase in damage, which also double applies to slash procs, and we're also running Arcane Avenger. So when it does proc, we will be having 179% crit chance. So yeah, everything that we shoot is dead. Steel Path, dead. Mega dead. You could, of course, go for a corrosive build here if you want to make sure you guarantee one-shot the Acolyte. As you're running Hunter Munitions, just to bypass armor, it still can one-shot the Acolyte. It took 2 shots, I believe, at the beginning of this clip, but the second clip, they were 1 shot. So we're also running Wisp for fire rate. Like I said, I want to run Critical Delay usually on this weapon as it just feels better, but, I want to run Point Strike on this weapon because it feels better than Critical Delay as it's a bow. But yeah, and as far as is this the actual God Roll? A lot of people are saying that's not the actual God Roll, it's just a big crit upgrade. Technically, when you're going for a low dispo Riven like this, you do want to save on mod slots while also upgrading what you're running. So On this Toxin Kuva Bramma, we're running Prime Cryo rounds. That's a lot of elemental damage. And when you think about it, this Bramma has 0.6 Dispo, very low potential stats. If you had a cold Riven on this Bramma, and like, let's say I replaced the multi-shot with cold damage instead, because Galvanized Chamber, fully stacked up, is 230%. That 47% multi-shot we're getting is just basically increasing consistency, not giving us an extra arrow. You could definitely argue that multi-shot on a low dispo weapon like this is a dead stat, and you know what? You wouldn't be entirely wrong. But you also got to remember that the low dispo Riven is going to make it where, let's say you can get like 40% cold damage. If I'm sacrificing that slot for cold damage and not running Prime Cryo, that's 110% elemental damage I'm potentially losing out on just to save a slot. And what are you going to run in that slot instead? Are you going to run Hammer Shot for more critical damage? Hammer Shot does not give that much critical damage. It gives, I guess it's better than before. It gives 60% critical damage and 80% status chance. That's actually lower than our 0.6 Dispo Riven. So I would not want to run Hammer Shot over whatever we got, Prime Cryo. I think Prime Cryo is more bang for our buck, honestly. Now, stats that I would like, maybe Fire Rate to offset that critical delay minus Fire Rate. Or if I'm not running Wisp or like Harrow or something like that. I think this is basically as good as it gets, because you also got to remember, you cannot pick the stats on Rivens. You cannot work towards anything involving Rivens besides just pulling the slot machine lever one more time. I got enough Kuva to pull it again. Oh, look, it was minus damage. All right, try it again. You cannot work towards anything on Rivens. So what you get is what that's as good as it gets. This guy got mega lucky getting this ridiculous Bramma Riven that, as you can see, it's pretty much just guarantee killing everything. In like the entire room, every shot, too. So, yeah, absolute filth. I was using those with Harrow, and Harrow's 4th ability. Everything is an orange crit, and anything that somehow counts as a headshot is like a beyond mega death red crit. So, yeah, pretty funny. Now, I did try it on Demolists as well on the Steel Path. This is not a weapon meant for Demolists. It can kill them in like 3 or 4 shots, but it will definitely fall off, even with a God Roll Riven like this. So overall, when I say it's time to go out and find a Bramma Riven, try to get a God Roll. Now, we do have an AOE, I wouldn't call it a change to the meta. There's an Eximus rework coming out soon. I think the AOE meta will be pushed even further, so there is definitely potential that having some of these AOE meta weapons with a good Riven could be even more useful than it currently is, which, it's nice right now, but to be honest, this is not like super different than my normal, mediocre Riven, damage multi-shot minus projectile. It's not that much different. Arguably, this is better use of the slot for sure because of the crit and the multi-shot and all that. But yeah, I do think that the AOE meta is getting amplified and reinforced even more, so it could potentially be time for you to pick it up. You just want to brute force down those Eximus over health, over guard, whatever they're calling it nowadays, mechanics, and no better choice than a Kuva Bramma or Kuva Ogress. I personally find the Kuva Bramma better than the Tsar and the Ogress just because you don't need to reload it. It's technically got infinite ammo if you run Vigilante supplies like we showed in the video. And yeah, it's just good. I mean, it's the meta for a reason. It's got 0.6 Dispo for a reason. They have nerfed it down over the years. It used to be like double the stats it is right now. Yeah, the biggest thing here is Prime Sure-Footed. I'm running Prime Sure-Footed. I'm shooting my toes with Wisp. There's other ways to do this, but yeah, Prime Sure-Footed is also very, very useful here. But remember, Unairu Focus School is going to be giving you a budget Prime Sure-Footed just for transfer in and out of your operator. So that is a way you potentially do this if this is still the meta, because of course single target's not going to be the meta. AoE will still be the king. So yeah, that's basically it for the video. Let me know how you guys felt about this format. I got to think of a title for these videos too. And if you are on PC looking to get one of your Rivens in one of these videos, hit me up either in the comments, on Discord, Twitch Whispers also work, and stuff like that. So I will definitely see you guys next time. Thank you very much for letting me use this Riven. And yeah, I wish that I owned this because it's really fun. Although potentially not the most noticeable. All right, guys. Take it easy. Peace.